Hey guys, so just got back from the pre-screening of Furious 7. I did a pre-screening for the first time in like a few months. I was doing that actually for a long time, like from the summer, last summer to like pretty much up until like maybe November. And I quit doing it because I just had too much going on in my life that I wasn't able to continue doing it. I had like a new job, everything else. I still have my new job, everything like that. I'm gonna try to do a lot more pre-screenings when it comes to towards the summer because I got a lot of big movies coming out. But this is one of the movies I was like, I gotta go see uh, as soon as I can. This is a movie I'm fucking looking forward to a lot. Furious Seven's like one of those movies I was like out of the top, probably if I would have named like the top 10 movies I was looking forward to the most this year, is probably beyond. It's definitely would be in the top five at least. This movie I've been looking forward to a lot, even before Paul Walker died. That sounds really mean, but this movie has like I have a feeling this movie's gonna have like one of those what I call the Heath Ledger effect, and that Heath Ledger when he died, that was the reason why fucking Dark Knight made as much money as it did. Don't fucking let anybody try to tell you otherwise. As seriously, look at how much money Batman Begins made, and look how much money Dark Knight Rises made. Although the Dark Knight Rises had that shooting happen, but that's another story. But and then look how much money the Dark Knight made. There you go. So I have like I was like this is one of those movies I think a lot of people are going to be interested just because of Paul Walker's death. And there are a lot of people like me that love this series. If you haven't seen my review for Fast and Furious 6, I said this before. I love this series. It's one of those series it's a guilty pleasure for me. It's always been a guilty pleasure of mine. It has a lot of elements in it. You know, the series has a lot of elements in it that I hate in a lot of movies, but this is one of the rare exceptions. I've enjoyed these movies. They're fun as hell. They're stupid. They're in the last couple of movies have embraced this stupidity, which has made the last two the best of the series. So with this one, I was looking forward to a lot, and then you add the fact that James Wan, the guy who made Saw, The Conjuring, stuff like that, has made mostly horror movies in his whole career, is directing it, and then you also add Jason Statham as the villain and Kurt Russell into it. I'm like, fuck you, fuck yeah, I'm in. Like, where the fuck do I sign up? Where do I buy my tickets? So like, seriously, once I heard that Kurt Russell and Jason Statham was gonna be in this movie, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm in for this movie. Like as soon as I saw that end credits scene with Statham in the last one, I was like, I'm sold. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, there's no reason to make a seventh movie, and then that end credits scene happened. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, let's make a seventh movie. But anyways, what did I think of it? Did I like it? Oh yeah, I did. This movie's a lot of fun. I liked it about as much as I liked the other ones, and that's a compliment. That is a compliment. It's as good as the other two, the last two movies, 5 and 6. It does some things a little bit better, but yeah, I would say it's on equal par to the other 5 and 6. In that this movie it's just a lot of fun. Again, like the last two movies, it embraces all the stupidity that you expect from these movies. It just has fun with it. This movie, I'll say this again. This is something I gotta repeat. This movie, despite having a lot of stupidity happen in this movie, this series, I still give like this. All the characters in these films, I actually give a shit about. They actually have some really well developed, for the most part, characters that actually give a shit what happens to them and like actually feel emotions when something bad happens to them. And it's I give them credit. I give this series a lot of credit. They don't have the strongest set of actors out there. Like I like Vin Diesel. I think the guy's really underrated. I like Vin Diesel. He has some pretty good scenes, especially the scenes of Michelle Rodriguez that are good. Michelle Rodriguez is really good. I will say I liked where they were kind of going with the character where at the beginning she was having like PTSD, which was really weird. But then they kind of just glossed over it for the rest of the movie. I'm like, oh, what the fuck. She like a lot of the characters in this movie kind of disappear for a while and don't show up until like halfway through the movie. I'll talk about that a little bit more here. Of course, The Rock is awesome. He's the fucking Rock. He's my boy. You have some, especially at the end, with that huge fucking Gatling gun. Where the fuck did he get that gun? You've seen the movie. You'll know what I'm talking about. I'm looking at something here, but yeah, he's awesome, and of course he's awesome. You know, I love The Rock in this movie. Statham is about as good as I expected he would be in this movie as the villain. Although, if there's a complaint I could make, is that there was not enough Statham, I thought. That kind of bugged me a little bit. Like, I understand why. I'll get into that a little bit more later. But I understand why there was not as much Statham in it. I think a lot of rewrites were done because of certain situations that happened. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed as there was not enough Statham, and that there was not enough Statham. Also, same goes to Kurt Russell, who is awesome in this movie, is really good. I love him in this movie. He is really awesome. His stuff in this movie, he's charming as hell. He brings the charisma that only Kurt Russell could fucking bring. And even get a moment in the movie where he's fucking being a badass. But then he just disappears. Like, halfway through the movie, he's gone for the rest of the movie. His character just ventures off and is never seen again. That kind of sucked. I was like, God damn it. He has a very small role in this movie, which kind of stuck. But, I mean, at his age, I guess that makes sense. He's getting old. He can't be doing the same shit he's been doing. But you still get a badass moment with him in the movie. It's briefly, but it's pretty cool. Also, I'll give credit where credit is due with Statham. I love the opening scene and how they introduced his character. That was a great way to introduce a fucking villain if I've ever seen one. Watch the opening scene is brilliant, and the fight scene between him and The Rock is a really good scene. Really fucking good scene. I love it. And there's a fight between Vin Diesel and Statham, and it's awesome. It's about as awesome as you expect. Also, let me look at this real quick. Was Ronda Rousey in this movie? Am I wrong in thinking that? Wait a second. Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was in this movie. That's what I thought. She's playing like bodyguard, head of a bodyguard for a prince in Abu Dhabi. And I still stand by this, and again, I would never say this to her face, but she's a terrible actress. That woman can't act. Stick to fighting, Rhonda. Her acting ability is really terrible. Even though a couple lines she has, you're like, wow. There's a fight scene between her and Michelle Rodriguez, and it's like Michelle Rodriguez kind of wins that fight, and you're like, in real life, that would have been a one-sided fight. I'm pretty goddamn certain on that. It's again to kind of throw believability out the window there a little bit. Ronda Rousey, like I said, who else is in it? I know there's somebody else who was in this. Lucas Black, the kid from Tokyo Drift, makes a cameo. That was weird. He just kind of just is in the movie and then bye. I think somebody else. Tony Jaa was in that. Yeah, I remember him. Was in it. But yeah, that's about the most noteworthy. Again, I can make note of how absurd this movie is and the action in this movie is. I even said after seeing the last movie, I said, I don't think they could top this. Like, they could top the absurd action scenes in the sex movie. Well, they must have saw my review or something, because they did. They topped it. Pretty much almost a lot of fucking different ways. I mean, they're fucking flying cars through buildings and landing into another building. There's a scene where Vin Diesel just drives right off a fucking cliff and rolls his car down a rocky hill, and still survives. That happens. Like, there's a lot of times in this movie, you're like, at this point in this movie, when people like, there's a point in the movie where you think a character is dead, and I'm like, he survived a lot worse. Like, that character survived a lot worse. He is not fucking dead. Like here's a good example in the Sixth movie, when that one girl that died in the end of the Sixth movie, the love interest to that Chinese guy, Japanese guy, sorry, dies. When he dies, or when she dies, and she gets thrown off a plane or something like that. I swear, I thought she was gonna be alive by the end of it. Nope, she's dead. I was like, holy shit, she actually died? I'm like, wow, that's a rarity. I figured she'd be just have a couple scratches and that's about it, but no, she was dead. That was kind of like, wow. But like, there's a lot of points in this movie, like, I just know pretty much nobody, like, none of the main characters are gonna die. Like, I thought for the trailers that The Rock was gonna die. No, he gets blown out of a fucking building and fucking lands on a car and only has like a broken clavicle and a fracture in his leg, and that's about it. But then kind of walks it off at the end, which is kind of funny. It's like, alright, whatever. I guess you could land on top of a fucking car back first and only fucking have like a couple broken bones, and that's it, apparently. That's what this movie tells you. What was the other one that I'm forgetting there? Oh, of course, the scene that we've seen in the trailer where they're driving their cars out of a cargo plane and they parachute the cars down and land perfectly without really any scratches. That does happen. But at this point, it's one of those things. It's like, if you're bitching about the absurdity of this series, you're a fucking idiot. You know what you're getting with this series. I mean, if you've watched any of these movies, you know what the fuck you're getting. So it's like pointless to pick apart that shit in this movie, alright? And like, I've seen a couple people a couple of critics say a few things. I'm like, that's just fucking stupid. It's like picking on a retarded kid. It's just fucking wrong. Yeah. But before I get into anything else, I guess, before I give my final thoughts on the movie, I guess I should talk about the ending of this movie, which is what a lot of people are talking about. And this is going to get into some spoilers. I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but fuck it, whatever. Spoiler, alright? I guess I should talk about what my thoughts on it were. As you probably have noticed, I didn't talk much about Paul Walker. They did a really good. I admit they did a really good job with Paul Walker, and giving him like a great farewell to his character. I give him a lot of props. It was really well done. Like somebody said, there was a lot of points in this movie where there was feeling of danger with his character that he might die. There were points in this movie, yeah, that happens, but also at the same time, in this series, I pretty much don't believe anybody's gonna die from the main cast because like every time something like they get in a really serious crash, they pretty much walk away unscathed. So I pretty much don't believe whenever they do a fake death, fake out with a death in this movie series. But they do a really good job with his character. They give him a really great send-off. It's really, really well done. And of course, the ending that is what a lot of people are talking about. You can tell that with this movie that there's probably a lot of rewrites, like I said. And I guarantee you Statham probably had a lot more stuff in this movie. But because of what happened with Paul Walker, I'm going to venture to guess, because of what happened with Paul Walker, they decided to make him the main focus at the end of the movie. Not really Statham. Statham gets his little bookend at the end of the movie, but it kind of is left open with a sequel if they want to do one. But and the ending is really really touching tribute. They do a really great touching tribute that has like a lot of like symbolism. Like literally, there's a scene at the end of the movie. The movie ends where Vin Diesel and Paul Walker are driving down the road together. Vin Diesel goes one way, Paul Walker goes the other way. And he rides off to the sunset. I mean, and that's literally how it ends. I'm spoiling it for you, so I'm sorry. Again, sorry, I'm spoiling it for you. But it's not really a spoiler. That was a really, and then they play like a lot of like video tribute, and there's a line at the end of the movie. Basically, Vin Diesel says, "You're always my brother, and I always love you." And you can tell that was like almost out of character, and it's really emotional. That scene, that whole tribute was really, really well done, and I give the movie a lot of credit. I'm not gonna bitch about it. I don't think anybody is. It was really touching. I even got a little teary eyed watching it. It was really sad. And you know, I feel like this is the perfect way to end a series. I feel like after the death of one of your main characters, main actors, you need to call it quits. It's been a fun series. I've had a lot of fun watching this, but I hope this is the last one. I have a feeling it won't, because this is fucking Hollywood. But if it ended in a real good note, that honestly they could end it right there, and the movie series would be, would have a really good conclusion. A lot of loose ends are tied up. A lot of characters are left in a pretty good place. A lot of story arcs are, finished up. It's really well done. Like I said, I hope this is the last movie, honestly. I don't know where to fucking go from here. Unless they have Statham again in the next movie, but I don't know. Yeah, again, go see Fast and Furious, or Furious 7. It's really good. Alright, I gotta get through these trailers as quickly as possible, because I got a shitload of new ones. So I gotta try to get through them as quickly as possible. I got Straight Outta Compton, the NWA biopic. That looks good. That's one of those movies that is pretty, still pretty relevant in the fact that it brings up a lot of topics. The movie deals with a lot of topics that are still relevant today, like the racial issues with cops and black people. It's prevalent in this movie, obviously, and I've kind of the racial tension. I mean, that's the best way to put it. The problems with the cops and the blacks is pretty prevalent nowadays, and it was prevalent then. And also, I give the movie a lot of fucking props. I don't know whether it's gonna be good or not, but I'll give the movie props where it deserves. They got really I swear to God, the kid that is playing Ice Cube, I thought that was Ice Cube for a fucking second. I was almost certain that was, but they got really good. Him and the guy they got to play Ice Cube and Dr. Dre are really spot on. Look really just like their counterparts. It's really amazing. Go watch the trailer. You'll see if anybody else agrees with that. It looked like it'll be alright. It's one of those movies. I'm waiting to see how it ends up. I don't know. It could be bad, but it could be pretty damn good. Then I got. Oh fuck! God damn it! I got the trailer for Poltergeist. All right, I'm gonna go on a rant here for a second. I've heard people say that this is not a remake; it's a reboot. No, it's a fucking remake. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. It's a remake. When you're copying exact scenes from the fucking original, it's a remake. There's a part where the little girl's standing at the TV with her hands on the TV going, "They're here." I'm sitting there and then there's the fucking clown that's taunting the boy, and it's fucking ridiculous. And of course now it's CGI, all CGI, so it looks fucking stupid. The Poltergeist is one of my favorite horror movies of all. It's one of the best, really fucking scary movie. This looks like shit. It does. It looks like pure shit. There's no going around it, and I'm not looking forward to this at all. I was holding out hope, and then I saw the trailer. Like, oh fuck, this looks like shit. I got Spectre, the new trailer for the new James Bond movie. It's a teaser trailer. It looked pretty damn good. Like the teaser got me interested. It's Bond. I like Bond, the Bond movies. Although I've only seen the only Bond movies I've seen are Die Another Day, which is a bad way to start off, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and Skyfall, and that's it. And I enjoyed all the movies I've seen the Bond movies I've seen up to this point. I've been trying to get around to watching all the old ones, but I haven't gotten the chance to. This looks like it's you get like a brief glimpse of fucking Christoph Waltz as the villain and stuff like that, which makes me happy that he's gonna be the villain in this movie. It looks like a lot of fun. I don't know it's very vague of what the plot is about. But it was basically just a teaser trailer. Basically, that was it. We didn't really get much about the plot, but it looked like it'll be interesting. Again, it's a Bond movie. It's gonna be good. I heard somebody in the back when I was in the theater. Somebody said, "Oh God, there's another one." I'm like, "Yeah, duh. It's Bond. They're gonna keep making those movies till the end of time. I think." Mad Max Fury Road. I got a new trailer for that. I don't know what the hell is going on in that trailer, and I really don't know what the fuck this movie's about. That movie looks pretty. That looks really, really pretty. And then it's like, I'm sitting there like, I don't know what's going on in this trailer, I don't really know and again, this is one of those, Mad Max is a series, I've never watched any of the movies. I know that's a crime, right? But, according to a lot of people, that's a crime. But, I'm gonna try to get around to watching them before I see this movie, but, this is one of those movies that I'm sitting there, I have no idea what's going on, but fuck this movie. This movie looks pretty. It's gonna be in 3D too. That's gonna be a kick-ass movie in 3D. I can tell you that right now, if done right. Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation, new Mission Impossible movie. I've never been a big fan of Mission Impossible movies. I liked 3, 4, and I liked 3 and 4. 4 was a great fucking movie. That was the best of the whole fucking series. And this is coming right off of 4, or was it Ghost Protocol? So, there's a lot of high expectations for this one, which I don't know, whether it can live up to it. And of course, Tom Cruise has the reputation for doing, his own stunts, and he's hanging off a plane in this movie, and, he did not literally hang off a fucking plane while it was taking off. I'm fucking certain of that. If he did, holy shit, that's awesome. If he did, oh my... seriously, Tom Cruise is the fucking man. Anybody who gives him shit, I continue to say, watch Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. He is actually hanging off the side of a building. It's not a stunt double, it's not CGI. He's literally hanging off the side of the fucking building. It's awesome. The Vatican tapes... That's all you need to know. I got a trailer for the Vatican tapes. That's all you need to know. Another exorcism movie. Yay! It's part found footage and part not found footage. Yay! Literally, it looked like the found footage was taken from The Devil Inside, which is not a good thing. Yeah, the Vatican tapes. No, I'm done with exorcism movies forever now. Yeah. And the last trailer I got was, what the hell was it? The Transporter Refueled. They're making a new Transporter movie. Okay, cool. But it's without Jason Statham. What the fuck? Who the fuck asked for another Transporter movie, and who asked for another one without Jason Statham? That is fucking retarded. It's a series that can't live without fucking Jason Statham. It's gonna bomb. Nobody's gonna see it. Fucking end of story. It's a prequel, too. Who'd really fucking wanted a prequel to Transporter? I barely even fucking remember what the hell happened in Transporter. All I remember was Transporter was that it introduced me to Jason Statham, and that was it. And yeah, who the fuck asked for that? It's like that and that new Hitman movie that's coming out. Who fucking asked for that? Like, who is there really like? Is Hollywood lost its fucking mind? Like, why the fuck are we doing like remakes or reboots of series that nobody asked for remakes or reboots? God, fucking Hollywood. I'm hoping everything it gets better from here. Furious 7 is a sign that things are gonna get better. I'm hoping. Next week I'll be back. I'm gonna go see next week. It Follows. It Follows finally came to my theater. I'm gonna go see it finally. I keep hearing really good things about it. Although a buddy of mine just told me he saw it and he said it should be called Shit Follows, not It Follows. He actually wanted his money back. He was pissed. So I don't know. He's the only person I've heard that actually hated that movie. So I'm like kind of interested. He's a guy I usually. Me and him love horror movies, so I'm interested, like, whether I have the same opinion or not. We'll see. Until then, I'll see you guys later.